afternoon and welcome to CoreTV News at 4. I am Olajwake Olatuju. The Supreme Court has dismissed the appeal filed by River State's Governor Nyesom Wike challenging the jurisdiction of the Election Petitions Tribunal and its relocation to Abuja. The five-member panel of the Supreme Court judges held that the President of the Court of Appeal acted in order by relocating the tribunal to Abuja to ensure the safety of the tribunal chairman and other supporting staff. More details in our subsequent bulletins. Adewale Folorunsho, Ministerial nominee, says Nigeria loses between 1 and 3 billion naira annually to medical tourism. He made the disclosure when he answered questions from senators in the Senate during ministerial screening in Abuja. Folorunsho, who berated medical tourism, however, called for adequate facility for Nigerian doctors to enhance their productivity and curb the rate at which Nigerians traveled for medical tourism. Folorunsho, who is a vice chancellor, University of Ibadan, says that the money spent in medical tourism was not so commensurate with the services it got, especially when such services were accompanied with hostilities from the host nation. The Plateau State House of Assembly has lashed out at the chairman and members of the House Committee on Security for its inability to present its report into the perennial security challenges facing the state to the House. Our Plateau State correspondent files in this report presented from our studios.
The House Committee on Security, set up by the Plateau State House of Assembly and chaired by the Deputy Speaker of the House, Yusuf Gagdi, was mandated to look into the immediate and remote causes of the perennial communal clashes in Plateau State that has lasted over a decade, with a view to proffering a long-lasting solution to the challenge. However, as the clashes and killings go on unabated, the residents and the lawmakers alike are at loss as to when the committee will come up with a report, with months having passed the original deadline for its submission.
Once the committee has been given an assignment to do, especially from this Honorable Chamber or anywhere, I think it is wrong for the committee again to expose such reports or to preempt the decisions of these other chambers. Because from all indication, interviews have been granted concerning this committee.
As a presiding officer, you cannot give the rope too long for this committee. Tomorrow you wake up, they say you go to Bokos. Tomorrow you wake up, they say you go to Panchadam. The committee is spreading its tentacles too much.
For this member of the committee, failure to present its report is not intentional, adding that the report will soon be presented on the floor of the House. The Speaker, however, gave this ultimatum to the committee.
This report should be presented at the immediate next legislative sitting, which is Tuesday.
With the ultimatum given by the Speaker, the wait for a solution to the seemingly intractable security challenge facing the state.
The Elections Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja have nullified the election of the Speaker, Owaju Bani, from Andoni constituency, and 20 lawmakers in River State House of Assembly. The lawmakers were elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party on April 11, 2015, in an election generally described as being marred by vote rigging and violence. It will be recalled that Governor of River State, Nyesom Wike, was sacked on Saturday by a tribunal under the same circumstances. Now, the Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja has upheld the election of the Oyo State Governor, Abiola Ajimobi. The tribunal therefore dismisses the petition filed by the court party's governorship candidate and the former governor of Oyo State, Rashid Adewale Ladoja, for lacking merit. I'll bring you details of that report in the subsequent bulletins. The Governorship Tribunal sitting in just as upheld the April 11 governorship election of Governor Simeon Lalong of the All Progressives Congress. In his ruling on Monday in the Plateau State High Court, Justice Johnson candidate said the petitioner could not prove its case. Our correspondent tells us more in this report.
Our judgment, a chairman of the tribunal, Justice Johnson candidate, said the petitioner, the People's Democratic Party, abandoned their criminal case and concentrated on civil matters, pointing out that all the petitioner presented were documentary hearsay. The tribunal held that for overvoting to be proved, the petitioner needs to provide a witness. With this, the tribunal faulted the PDP for not providing witnesses from 8 wards consisting 89 polling units in Shandem, which is said was marred with irregularity, adding that the onus was on the petitioner to prove its case beyond reasonable doubt. Speaking with journalists after the judgment, counsels to the APC and Governor Stephen Lalong commended the tribunal chairman for giving attention to details.
My client has been declared, duly elected at the elections of 11th April 2015. I think a strong statement has been made that cases are decided in courts and not on the pages of papers or in radio houses or at the social media. I say this because a lot of speculative statements have gone out concerning this matter.
Well, the judgment has just been delivered. My reaction is that it demonstrates impartiality at the bench, impartiality of members of the tribunal. Everything was sufficiently analyzed, every question was sufficiently answered, every detail was sufficiently examined, and a painstaking and comprehensive decision delivered.
Also, chairmen of the 2 political parties bear their minds on the outcome of the judgment. The PDP official, however, congratulated the governor for the first time since after winning the elections.
As APC, we are happy that we have gotten this victory. You know that the tribunal is a continuation of the election process. What you are not able to resolve on the field, you resolve at the tribunal. And we thank God that it has been resolved peacefully, in spite of all the insinuations that there was going to be war, that we believe that in Plateau State we cherish this so much.
Well, it's not my decision. We have to sit first as state working committee, then we'll get to our lawyers. Whether the case is not going to appeal court or we'll now settle down as a people in Plateau State to give the needed support this young man needs to succeed.
Still in Plateau State, where the State House of Assembly has lashed out at the chairman and members of the House Adult Committee on Security for its inability to present its report into the perennial security challenges facing the state of the House. Our Plateau State correspondent tells us more once again.
The House Committee on Security, set up by the Plateau State House of Assembly and chaired by the Deputy Speaker of the House, Yusuf Gakdi, was mandated to look into the immediate and remote causes of the perennial communal clashes in Plateau State that has lasted over a decade, with a view to proffering a long-lasting solution to the challenge. However, as the clashes and killings go on unabated, the residents and the lawmakers alike are at loss as to when the committee will come up with a report, with months having passed the original deadline for its submission.
Once the committee has been given an assignment to do, especially from this Harvard chamber or anywhere, I think it is wrong for the committee again to expose such reports or to preempt the decisions of these Harvard chambers. Because from all indication, interviews have been granted concerning this committee.
As a presiding officer, you cannot give the rope too long for this committee. Tomorrow you wake up, they say you go to Bokos. Tomorrow you wake up, they say you go to Panchadam. The committee is spreading its tentacles too much.
For this member of the committee, failure to present its report is not intentional, adding that the report will soon be presented on the floor of the House. The Speaker, however, gave this ultimatum to the committee.
This report should be presented at the next immediate legislative sitting, which is Tuesday.
With the ultimatum given by the Speaker, the wait for a solution to the seemingly intractable security challenge facing the state.
The Speaker, Delta State House of Assembly, Onwigbo Iboye, has hailed the judiciary as the protector of the oppressed over the ruling which upheld the April 11 governorship election of Governor Ifeanyi Okowa in Delta State. In a statement issued in Asaba by his Chief Press Secretary, Henry Ebiri, The Speaker described the April 11 governorship election as the fairest and freest in the history of the state. While congratulating the governor on his victory at the tribunal, Speaker Igbuya commended him for running a transparent and accountable government, as well as placing the state in the world map for growth and development. The Speaker also thanked the people for the confidence reposed in Governor Okoye, assuring them of the governor's resolve to further deliver the dividends of democracy to them. The Court of Appeal sitting in Kaduna has affirmed the election of former Kano State Governor Rabiu Kekonso as the duly elected senator representing Kano Central Senatorial District. And this was after it dismissed the appeal filed by Senator Bashir Garba and the People's Democratic Party for lack of merit. In dismissing the two appeals against the earlier verdict of the election tribunal, Justice Habib Abiru says the All Progressives Congress complied with Section 85 of the Electoral Act by giving INEC the mandatory 21-day notice of the primaries that led to the eventual substitution of Kekonso. Justice Abiru described the petition of the PDP and Senator Garba as meddlesome interlopers and stressed their appeals had no merit. Now, the governorship election petition tribunal sitting in Ibadan has affirmed the judgments in Senator Rashid Lajida's petition and has affirmed the victory of Senator Abiola Jimobi as the newly elected governor of Oyo State. Now, away from that, the presidency is pleased with the manner the Senate has been conducting the ongoing ministerial nominees. It is also happy with the performance of those who have already appeared before the Senate. Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, Ita Enang, said this at the news conference in Abuja.
Let me also, through you, express my our very sincere appreciation to His Excellency the President of the Senate, His Excellency the Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Dr. Bukola Saraki and Senator Dr. Ike Ekweremadu, the leadership of the All Progressives Congress, the leadership of the People's Democratic Party and all the minority and majority party members in the Senate for the painstaking nature and process of screening the nominees for ministerial appointments. They have shown in their handling of the matter on the floor of the Senate, their personal interactions, the reception of the senators in the course of the consultations and the course of talking to them, even outside the floor of the Senate, that have shown the candor and the real character, the characteristic nature of matured Senate.
The federal government has filed fresh charges against former National Security Advisor, retired Colonel Sambo Dazuki, at the Federal High Court in Abuja. The 5 amended charges border on money laundering and illegal possession of firearms, among others. Now, the prosecution also listed a number of arms and ammunition found in Dazuki's home in the charge sheet. Abiola Luwale has all the details.
That the former National Security Advisor prosecuted for illegal possession of firearms is no longer news, but a new dimension has been introduced. Retired Colonel Dazuki came to court on Monday to find out that he will be facing an amended 5-count charge of illegal firearms possession and money laundering. The prosecution counsel also wants the court to allow witnesses to wear masks because of the sensitivity of the case, but the defense team is opposed to the use of such protective measures. After listening to the two sides, Justice Adeniyi fixed ruling for Wednesday. The prosecution counsel was also prepared to speak after adjournment, but the lead defense says he is keen on ensuring freedom of movement for his clients within and outside the country during the trial.
Freedom to move around within and out of the country. So those are the things. The ruling will be given on Wednesday.
How prepared the defense for the new charge now?
No, we are yet to study it. It was read today.
One of the fresh charges against the former NSA centered around the discovery of $40,000, 5 million naira, and $20,000 at his number 13 John Kadia Street, Asokoro, Abuja residence on July 17th. Another charge border on the discovery of $150,000, 6.7 million naira, in a Sokoto residence the previous day. The government believed that the recovered funds are proceeds of money laundering. Abiola Oluwole, CoreTV News, Abuja.
British military officers are training 150 warrant officers as senior non-commissioned officers in Kaduna. The one-week training, according to the Nigerian Army authorities, as part of what is targeted at strengthening the caliber of officers that serve as a link between senior officers and men. Amna Nebi has done this report presented from our studios.
For the next 1 week, these British soldiers will be building the capacity of senior non-commissioned officers of the Nigerian Army. It is an exercise that Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai says is apt because the participants form the bedrock of any army. According to General Buratai, there cannot be a professionally responsive Nigerian army without an equally effective warrant officers and senior non-commissioned officers cadre. He was represented at the opening ceremony by the commander of the Infantry Corps, Major General Sanusi Muhazu.
We are going to have a highly professional army, just like in line with the Army Staff vision of having professional and responsive army that will operate within the constitutional frameworks. The importance of training can never be emphasized. So if we are trained, meaning and professionally sound, meaning all the challenges we are facing, we face them squarely.
For his part, the leader of the British Military Advisory Training Team, Lieutenant Colonel Stewart Owells, who was once a senior non-commissioned officer himself, assured the participant of the best. He also noted that years of cordial bilateral ties made it easier for Britain to send a team of military experts to assist Nigeria in the fight against insurgency.
Of the history we have together and the fights we have had against our combined enemies throughout the wars. It therefore gives me a fantastic and great pleasure to work with the Nigerian Army staff assisting in the delivery of this command and leadership seminar to the backbone, the bedrock of Nigerian Army, the warrant officers and senior NCOs.
The training is part of effort by the Army authorities to meet the December deadline handed out by the President.
I'll take a quick break now. I'll be back up with stories. Please stay with us.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
Talk to our husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
Because some people will strong for Yoruba land, will be strong man, you don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
Some pundits believe that as long as the political system is driven by selected few, corruption may be difficult to fight.
You should be careful about what you say.
I am not the only politician. Even if I've wronged anyone, it is time to forgive me.
Please for Arena every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. and a repeat broadcast every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Thank you for joining us again. Now, for more on the news and other programs, please visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can follow us on Twitter, CoreTV News NG. Also visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/CoreTV _the news. Governors in North and West Nigeria have expressed satisfaction with the recent performance of troops involved in counterinsurgency operations in northeast Nigeria. They are also impressed by efforts to stop cattle rustling in their domain. Speaking after a closed-door meeting in Kaduna State, the governors described the act as an holy. The leader of the Northwest Governors Forum, Aminu Masari, who lamented the youths who are supposed to be in school are involved in the act of murdering innocent people.
Niger, Zamfara, Sokoto, Kebbi, Katsina, and Kaduna have made to review the progress so far with regards to the special operation that is going on in Dajin, Kamuku, Koyambana, Rugu, and whatever it is called, and within the areas, and Dajin Falgore. So we have reviewed, and fundamental in our meeting is that we have agreed that the operation should continue beyond this month, and further details to be discussed with security agencies. If you have any question, please. This is brought by the security agencies themselves, and we noted the infiltration from northeast and northwest, and the measures are being taken to make sure that Boko Haram does not find any safe haven in northwest or any part of the country. This Kamoku Koyambana extends from Senegal up to Central African Republic. So obviously that you can have sporadic attacks from time to time. So this has been dealt with, and we are dealing with the situation. With regards to cost, we will not know the cost until it is over.
Still in Kaduna, where the police have uncovered 5 camps of notorious cattle rustlers, they also recovered over 139 animals during the operation. Police spokesman Zubaru Abubakar says in a statement that the operation was based on a tip-off. He added that the camps were uncovered at Katari, Jerry, Tafa, and Chikwale and Akilibo villages along Kaduna, Abuja, and Niger highways. The police spokesman, however, noted that the rustlers disappeared before the arrival of the operatives, leaving behind 94 cows and 45 sheep, 1 locally made rifle, empty AK-47 rifle magazine, knives, a military camouflage trouser, and a set house-breaking tools. He also called on the people to provide useful information that may lead to the arrest of the rustlers. Now, the Ife kingmakers in Osun State say the choice of Prince Adeyeye Ogunwusi as the new Ooni of Ife is in line with the 1980 Ife Chieftaincy Declaration. Adeyeye Ogunwusi is a prince from the Gesi-ruling House of Ife who was approved the Ooni-elect by the state government to fill the vacant stool left by the passage of Oba Okwade Shijuade. Rashid tells us more.
The news of Prince Ogunwusi as the new Ooni of Ife was received amidst jubilation and fanfare by expectant residents of Ife. Security personnel and vehicles were on standby at Ile-Oòduà, the palace of the head of Yoruba race. With the latest news in Ife, it appears the contest for who becomes the 51st Ooni of Ife, which began about 3 months ago, has finally come to halt. Succeeding the late Ooni Oba Okwade Shijuade Olubuse II is an heir from the Gesi ruling house, which was confirmed by the Chief Judge of the state, Justice Adepele Ojo.
You can see the community, you can see the town, there is a peace. Very soon, it's a people choice. And our advice to the Ife, both the indigenous of Ife from home and diaspora, that they should allow peace to reign, to join hand together with the new Ooni, so that what the Kabesi is have in his mind will become to the reality.
Following the announcement, it was all joy with singing and dancing. The chosen family therefore calls for peace and oneness for the benefit and development of Ife.
My subtle appeal to our people in Ile-Ife is to let us close ranks. Let us all come together and sue for peace. The moment there is peace, there will be progress.
It's going to bring in jobs opportunity for youth and for the elderly ones. And there is going to be roads, goods roads, and a lot of good amenities that is going to bring in.
With the emergence of the new Ooni of Ife, expectations in Ife holds that all issues surrounding the selection process will be laid to rest. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ile-Ife.
The president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, has called for true freedom in Africa for the continent to develop economically and educationally. He made the call while presenting a lecture during the 40th anniversary of University of Ilorin. Rashid tells us more once again.
Growth and rapid development has been posing as great challenge to African countries despite attaining independence. The Ghanaian president lamented that the continent has never been free from colonialism and also blames past African leaders for their harsh method of governance, which he noted retarded the growth of their countries. He stressed that each country should have a plan to develop its education and economy to meet its peculiar needs.
The people of Africa are by and large our most valuable resource. Much has been written and spoken about the rest of the world's use and misuse of Africa's resource, and figures are even placed on these resources. When it comes to those other resources, we can measure our losses in very specific amounts. We know the worth of our oil, the worth of our gold, our cocoa, our diamonds, our silver. But what about people? What is the worth of our people? What is the value of our people? What of the Africans who travel abroad and build up other nations with their originality and creativity? What of the young people who were raised on African soil? The would-be scholars who leave our land to study, live and work in other nations on other continents.
Also speaking, President Muhammadu Buhari, represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babachir David Lawal, urged private sectors to complement the effort of the federal government in education by investing to improve the education sector in the country.
I must also emphasize here that the federal government alone cannot meet the needs of higher education in Nigeria. The private sector must be encouraged to invest in research and development in the universities. This means that the universities must make themselves relevant to the private sector in order to attract funding. Therefore, the governing councils of universities must begin to think outside the box in order to reposition their universities for global competitiveness.
He also urged them to think outside the box in the funding and running of their campuses. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ilorin.
The state government has disbursed 120 million naira to 2,400 farmers, comprising 232 groups in the state, under the FADAMA, the third project additional financing. The state governor Olusegun Mimiko disclosed this on Monday during the official flag-off ceremony of FADAMA additional financing and presentation of checks to farmers in the state. Governor Mimiko, represented by his deputy Nasisi Oluboyo, says his administration has spent over 5 billion naira to implement various agric-related programs in the last 6 years, and also paid 380 million naira as counterpart contributions to the FADAMA project from inception. According to him, one of the major policy thrusts of the 12-point agenda of his administration involves using agriculture to address problems of food security and youth employment confronting the society. Now, the World Health Organization is preparing to declare Nigeria polio-free. It, however, wants the authorities to maintain policies that let the country out of the list of wild poliovirus endemic countries. WHO's Regional Director for Africa, Mashidi Somu-Ete, who gave the indication at an event to mark the World Polio Day in Abuja, says Nigeria's efforts in eradicating polio is a confidence booster for Pakistan and Afghanistan, who are the two other endemic nations. She also called for sustained surveillance at all levels to prevent gaps in the intervention measures. We'll take another quick break. I'll be back on more stories. Please join us again.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
many things to do for this Nigeria, about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly. Talk to your husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, another election is coming.
Also, some people will strong for Yoruba land, will be strong man. We don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
And for some business news, the Central Bank of Nigeria has dismissed the call for further devaluation by the Emir of Kano and immediate past governor of the bank, Mohammed Sanusi II, saying there will be no further devaluation of the naira. Sanusi had faulted the decision of the CBN and the federal government not to further devalue the naira and also to retain fuel subsidy. But CBN's Deputy Governor of Corporate Services Director Adebayo Adelabu, while addressing journalists in Lagos at the sidelines of the investiture of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, responded to Sanusi's comments, declaring that there will be no further devaluation of the naira. The position of the CBN also adds support from the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, with the institute's president, Adebola Oshimbogun, saying the CIBN backs the CBN on no further devaluation. But the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, through its president, Muda Yusuf I, saying that the CBN needs to adjust the exchange rates in line with current realities. And outside Nigeria, Iran has unveiled a domestically built 3D search and control radar system, Kama, with the capability of tackling over 100 targets within a 450-kilometer radius. Iranian Defense Minister Hossein Dakwan made the announcements in the city of Siraj on Monday, along with the unveiling of 15 other defense advancements by the Iraq electronics industries. Kamal can track multiple ground and air targets, including fighter jets and drones, over an expansive range and transfer the obtained data to the country's air defense network. Deccan also announced an imaging system called APSA, which can be installed on planes and drones and can be linked to the defense network. The Iranian defense minister noted that these advancements in the field of electronic defense allow for the locating of the enemy's exact battlefield positions and even the source of enemy fire. Deccan also inaugurated the production lines of a series of aeronautical navigation systems, including multilateration, electronic intelligence, and communications intelligence system. And for some stories in sports, the victorious home-based senior national team, Super Eagles B, have more reasons to smile after the leadership of Nigeria Football Federation approved the players and officials to be paid extra amount of money as performance or qualification bonus for the 4th African Nations Championship for the drawn game against Burkina Faso's Italians in the state August 4 on Sunday, which sent Nigeria into the draw for the Rwanda 2016 African Nations Championship. Each Super Eagle was entitled to the sum of $1,000, with each of the coaches earning more. However, NFF's second vice president, LMC chairman Shehu Diko, who led the Nigeria delegation to the state, announced to the group that NFF president Amaju Pinnick had directed the players and officials to be paid the full bonus, with the other half serving as qualification bonus. The joyous delegation, which included 23 Eagles, returned to Nigeria at 1:15 a.m. on Monday aboard the same Eric Air Bombardier jet that flew them from Port Harcourt on Friday night. Many thanks for joining us on the news at 4. With that, it's a wrap. Thank you for watching.